Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, October 22nd. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation to you to just take a break from everything that's going on, all of the busyness of the day, and just breathe, to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. Each Take a Break, Take a Breath time together, I read a different passage of scripture, and we've been reading through the book of Romans, the epistle to the Romans written by Paul. And we're on Romans 7 through 12. Paul is going to ask three questions over the next 3 days as we read the next three passages. And in this section that we're looking at today, it's the first of those. He asks, is the law sin? Because he's struggling and recognizing that we all struggle with the idea that when we know something is a law, then we often break it, and we become aware of our breaking the law. Before we know that, we have no idea we're doing anything wrong. And he is struggling with that, and he goes back to references to Genesis 3, when when Adam and Eve are told not to eat the fruit, and of course they eat the fruit. And when the people of Israel in the Exodus story in the wilderness, when they receive the law, of course they break it. Paul makes the point that it's not the law that brings death, but sin uses the law to deceive us and to trick us, and that our struggles often are, as soon as we know we shouldn't do something, we want to know what happens if we don't do it, or if we do it. And that's part of how our human spirit works. So with all of that in mind, I invite you to find a quiet place in your house and close the door if the room has a door, and settle into a comfortable chair and feel the support of that chair. Feel its support on the back of your legs and on your back, and if it has arms, feel the support of the arms under your arms. Allow yourself just to relax into that chair, to settle into it. And close your eyes and breathe. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of the things that disturb your peace. Could be worries or fears or anxieties or deadlines or a sense of being overwhelmed. Whatever it is, just breathe it out, at least for this little bit of time. Continue breathing deeply, and with each deep breath, recognize that God's Spirit and presence is with you and is growing in you, is spreading in you. Maybe imagine it like as if it's running through the veins and arteries of your body, and so it goes from your lungs to your heart, and your heart rate calms down. And it goes from your heart up into your neck, and the tied up muscles of your neck, the twisted and tight muscles, unwind and get soft. It goes from your neck up into your head and calms your mind and all of the busyness of your mind. And it goes into your face and relaxes the muscles of your face. peace of God goes from your heart into your shoulders and down your arms and to your hands. Your hands open up and let go of all of the things that they're grasping for and holding on to. And as that happens, the muscles in your arms relax, and the muscles in your shoulders relax. It goes from your heart into your back. The peace of God penetrates into the muscles of your back. Maybe you even say your aching back. And as it does so, you feel the burdens of the day sliding off. It goes from your heart to your stomach and all of your abdomen and all of the upsets that are churning in your abdomen get calm and peaceful. The presence of God moves from your stomach and abdomen down into your thighs and your calves and your feet. And the weariness of running around all day is released, and the muscles are renewed. You are in the presence of God, completely in the presence of God. And God's peace is touching every cell in your body. In your mind's eye, go to a beautiful garden, and in the middle of that garden is a beautiful fruit tree. There's a sign in front of that tree as you stand looking at its beauty. Don't touch. How much we want to touch something as soon as it says don't touch. It causes us to think about all of the ways that we have, well, some people say all the ways we have trespassed, all of the ways we have sinned, all of the ways we have missed a mark. And you sit thinking about that. It brings you down. Maybe you think about all of those things and you feel some disappointment. You hear someone else walking in the garden. It's God. How does God come to you? As God comes to you, God tells you that you are forgiven. And God invites you to talk about your disappointments and your hopes, your concerns, your brokenness, and your need for healing. And God responds to that. I'll be quiet while the two of you have that conversation. Then the time comes for the conversation to end, and so you end the conversation and say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And you allow that image to fade away and bring yourself back to the room where you are. When you're ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Friday, October 22nd. If you have feedback for me, or if you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.